私が殺した。
Okay, testing audio, testing movement. Oh yeah, looks good. Everything working good then. Okay, great. Yeah, and I'll get right to it. Hello everyone. This is Gundam Ace, and I'm here with my streaming of Eve New Generation. Last time we left off, Marina took Alt back to the inn where Alt was beginning to try to explain to her the whole Noi Alt split bodies thing, but then Kojiro came in and then gave Marina the Vectomai injection left. After that, Alt was kidnapped again, parrying Princess Peach by some man in the parking lot. And then Marina went looking for her and managed to chase. But before that, went down to the research lab and spoke to Okto, who turned out had been just trolling her the whole time about the whole infinite loop thing, and explained to them how on this island the people intentionally repeat a single day twice, which Hatsumi set in place in order to set up a whole system to create people with split bodies, which he did to Okto and his twin brother Nayuta. And he also explained about how Nayuta was set to watch, spy on Marina, but then fell in love with her, and then because of that, developed his own confusion about his own identity and committed suicide in order to prove his existence to the world. And he also finally explained that the nuclear meltdown threat was never real, but that they couldn't do that, but they did manage to replace Marina's ballistic markings in the Zero database with another guns, set her up as the killer. And then Marina killed his computer for getting a math question wrong. After that, she went after Alt, and then joined in the chase with Kojiro at the school with the mysterious man. But the man got away ultimately, and then the two perspectives met up, where they exchanged information. And then while they were exchanging information, Kojiro talked about how he got his memories back and said how he didn't want to lose them. And then we are finally getting back into his. Now we're finally going to see the full breadth of his lost memories. And also, just a reminder that should be only, including this, there should be only 2 or 3 more streams left. I'm going to try and make it 2 that might require a bit of a longer stream than usual for the next 2, but we'll just see how it goes. Anyway, let's begin. It was last summer. I met a lone girl, beneath a vermilion sky.
初めてなの。
It's my first time. You mean your first time fishing?
うん。
Yeah,
私は初めて。
it's my first time.
お姉ちゃんは何度かしたことがあるみたいだけど。
It seems my sister's done it a lot of times herself. What's your name?
お姉ちゃんの？
My sister's? No, yours.
私はアルト。
I'm Alt.
木関アルト。
Alt Kizeki.
それが私の名前。
That's my name. Alt, huh? That's a rare name. By the way, can I ask you something?
何？
What? What are you holding right now?
いくらなんでもそのぐらいは知ってるよ。釣り竿でしょ？
Come on, I'm not that dumb. It's a fishing rod, right? Then what's that floating in the water?
浮き。
The float. And what's attached to the tip of the thread?
釣り針。
Fishing hook. And what's attached to the fishing hook? Yep, just as I feared. Well, I can tell, you only have a single fishing rod with you. There's no lure box or any bait bucket near you. You didn't put any bait on? cocks her head. After 3 seconds, she answers.
餌つけないと魚って釣れないの？
Wait, you need bait in order to fish? Of course you do! No fish are ever going to come close if they don't see anything to entice them. It's the same with people.
うーん。
That right.
でも人間の場合は見返りを求めない行為っていうのがあると思うけど、
Humans sometimes do some things when there's no reward in it for them, don't they? Well, I guess it only makes sense a child would think that way.
うわぁ、嫌な言い方。
Wow, I did not like the way you put that. Hey, I'm just telling you as it is.
これが幻滅ってやつね。
I'm only telling you how you think it is. Just a minute later, I strained my eyes. All of a sudden, the tip of the fishing rod starts to shake. All of a sudden, it bends with incredible force. I look at the water to and realize I can't see the floater anymore. Fishing line is stretching out into the smooth mirror-like surface of the water. I'm rendered speechless by this impossible sight. It's the same with her.
どうしよう。
Oh, what do I do?
どうすればいいの？どうすればいいの？
What should I do? What should I do?
ねえってば、ね
Hey, come on. Hey, you. The girl is utterly baffled. Damn, I'm actually impressed. Guess unbelievable stuff does actually happen if you wait long enough.
え。のんきなこと言ってる暇があったら何とかしてよ。
Don't just sit back, do something. Yeah, I guess I might as well give a hand. I quickly get to my feet and run over to the girl. Hey, what are you doing? Hurry up and reel it in.
巻くって何を？
What's reeling? The lever thing.
リール？現実？
The level? I said lever.
これはリアル？
What level is this? Ugh.
現実。
Oh, real. Look, this isn't a time for a dumb comedy routine. Just hurry up and reel it in.
で、リールってどれなのよ？
What's the reel? The thing you're holding in your right hand. The thing that spins.
これ？
You mean this? That's it.
ぐるぐるぐる。
Spin, spin, spin.
ぐるぐるぐるぐるぐる。
Spin, 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 spin.
ぐるぐるぐるぐるぐるぐる。
There we go. That's the spirit.
ぐるぐるぐる。ぐるぐるぐるぐるぐる。
You don't have to say it out loud. Don't stop.
だって声に出さないと。
Well, you told me not to. But if I don't speak, all right, fine, whatever. Just if that's what it takes for you to reel, just do it.
ぐるぐるぐる。ぐるぐるぐるぐるぐる。ぐるぐるぐるぐるぐるぐる。
Eventually.
やったー！
I did it! I managed to catch a fish. She shows me the fish she caught. With a triumphant look on her face.
ねえ、見て見て。釣れたよ。釣れたよ。
Hey, look! I caught one! I caught one!
魚、釣れた。釣れたの。
I did it! I caught a fish! Yep, you sure did. I can see that for myself.
釣ったのは私だよ。私が釣ったんだよ。
I did it! I caught one! I'm tempted to say all you did was spin the reel, but I hold myself back. There's no way I could say it in the face of such a happy smile. So instead I say this. Yeah, Not bad. Caught a pretty big one for your first time. Alt laughs bashfully. All while growing even more excited. Her face looks red, flushed in the setting sun. Still, are you really a beginner? I mean, heck, even experts can't catch fish without bait.
魚心あれば水心って言うでしょ。
Well, if fish have hearts, and maybe so is the ocean.
魚が水に思いを寄せれば水も魚に応えてくれる。
If fish respond to... Wait, hold on 1 second. If fish give their hearts to the ocean, then maybe the ocean reciprocates them.
それと同じだよ。
Same kind of thing.
人が魚に思いを寄せれば魚も人に応えてくれる。
If humans give their heart to fish, then the fish will reciprocate.
私はただ魚の心を読んだだけ。
I just read the fish's mind and heart. Those words leave quite the impression on me. Alt releases the fish. Takes the fish off the line, sorry. He puts it in their hands and gives it a bit of a longing look. Are you gonna let go?
お姉ちゃんが怒るから。
Yeah. My sister would be mad otherwise. Hmm?
お姉ちゃん、生き物を大切にしなさいってすぐ怒るの。
She scolded me, telling me to remember how precious life is. Sounds like a pretty serious sister you got there.
真面目すぎるぐらい。
Yeah, I guess you could say she's too serious if you ask me. Alt bends over and throws the fish back into the ocean. A golden spray dances up, ripples spraying across the water. The fish leaps up, and then takes off, disappearing before our very eyes.
でもちょっと惜しいことしたかな。
It's a bit of a shame, though.
こんなことならカメラでも持ってくればよかった。
I should have brought a camera if I knew this would happen.
証拠の写真でもないとみんな信じてくれないと思うし。
I don't think anyone's gonna believe me without any proof. Without photos proof. Oh, you should have just said so.
カメラ持ってるの？
You mean you have a camera? Yeah, well, a cell phone camera anyway. I take it out of my pocket and show her.
これが携帯って言うんだ。
So this is a cell phone. Wait, you've never seen one before? Alt nods.
これを使うとどこでも電話できるんでしょ？
You can call anywhere with one of these things, right? Look on her face is begging for me to let her touch it. So I silently hold out this cell phone and put it in Alt's hand.
もしもーし。
Hello? Alt speaks. That was the folding kind of phone. She doesn't close it. Instead, just, and speaks into the part you listen to. Just the antenna is stretched out. It almost looks as though she's speaking to a transceiver.
こんなのにカメラがついてるんだ。
This thing has a camera on it? Yeah.
すごいね。
Wow, that's so awesome. Sure is, huh?
ねえ、撮ってよ。
Hey, take a picture. I mean, sure, I guess I don't mind.
一緒に撮ろう。
Let's take it together. Sorry, what?
一緒に撮ろうよ。
Let's take a picture together. Well, I'm not quite sure that'd be, the right thing.
はい、これ。撮り方わかんないから、シャッター切って。
Here you go. I know how to take a picture, so you take care of it. Alt shoves the cell phone into my hand. That's not all she pushes. You press her cheeks, shoulders, and her small chest against me as well. For a moment, I'm tempted to call her rude and push her away, but then she would have fallen into the ocean, so I stop. So only reluctantly I do what she says. I reach the phone now as far as I can go. I point the camera lens towards us and press the button, the faux button. Put my finger on the faux button. Okay, here I go. You ready? Yep. One second. I take the photo. The cell phone. I open the cell phone, show her the photo I just took.
ふむふむ。可愛く撮れてる。
Yep, I look real cute in this.
可愛く撮れてるけど、
But that said,
ビローンっていうやつ出てこないの？
that flashy thing didn't come out. Oh, sorry, but it didn't shoot out. But the photo didn't come out. Yeah, this isn't an instant camera, so it doesn't work like that.
じゃあ
Oops. Huh? And I can't look at it at all. I can just send it to your computer. Oh wait, you probably don't have one of those, huh? If you did, I could have uploaded the photo there.
あるよ、いっぱい。
I have tons of those. Tons?
いっぱい。
Yep, tons. Alright then, in that case, I'll lend you my cell phone for tonight. Not like I can use it on this island anyway.
嬉しいんだけど、それでどうすればいいの？
Huh? I mean, I'm happy to hear that, but what am I supposed to do with it? I explained to her how to retrieve the. Alright, sorry. I explained to her how to retrieve the photo. If there were radio waves around, you could have just sent the photos via email. Since that's impossible, you take out the memory card inside, put it into an adapter, and so on and so forth. If you don't understand, ask someone in your family. And if that doesn't work out...
ううん、多分大丈夫だと思う。
Oh no, I think it'll be fine.
パソコンに詳しい人たくさんいるから。
There are plenty of people here who know how to work computers. Many?
うん、たくさん。
Yep, plenty of them. In the distance, I hear cicadas chirping, as well as the tofu seller calling out to customers. Before long, those sounds fade.
それじゃあそろそろ帰るね。
Okay, I'm gonna go home now. Okay,
携帯どうもありがとう。
thanks for lending me your phone.
明日必ず返すから。
I promise I'll give it back tomorrow. I nod and tell her the name and location of the inn.
あ、そうだ。大事なことを聞き忘れるところだった。
Oh right, I almost forgot to tell you something important. What's that?
名前だよ、おじさんの。
Your name, old man. I'm not an old man!
いいから教えて。
Just tell me already, will you? It's Kojiro Amagi.
何してる人？
What do you do? I'm a chapel organist.
本当は？
What do you really do? I'm a dog trimmer.
本当は？
What do you really do? I'm a hero of justice.
正義の味方か。
Hero of justice, huh? Oh shit, she actually took me seriously.
じゃあもしも何かあったら私のことを助けてくれる？
Then will you save me if anything happens to me? Yep, you got it. Just leave it to me.
絶対？
You promise? Promise.
約束だからね。
Don't break it, okay? I nod. All holds the cell phone to her chest though she's holding a treasure and runs right off. The tragedy happened right after I returned to the inn.
誰か助けて！
Someone help me! A scream suddenly rings out. I recognize that voice. It's the voice of Alt, the girl I just split up with.
もうやだ、やめて話してよ！
Hey, what are you doing? Stop! Stop! Let me go! I hear the voice coming from the port.
小次郎、助けて！
Save me! My name. She's calling my name. I take off like a speeding arrow. I rush down the hill and head for the harbor. And what I see over by the docks is
やだ、行きたくない話してってば！
No! I don't want to go! I don't want to go! I said let me go! I see Alt being taken away by someone. It's happening on the opposite side of the harbor. The one trying to take her away is an old man. The old man has his arm wrapped around Alt's and was trying to drag her off into a boat. I run as fast as I can. The old man wraps his arm around Alt's neck. He forcefully drags her into the ship. Wait! I raise my legs and shout. The old man gives me a glance, but he shows no signs of hesitating. There's just too much distance between us. This guy knows what he's doing. Though there isn't much distance. Though there isn't actually all that much distance from us as the crow flies. Since I have to go around the gulf and everything, I can't reach him in time. Irritation runs through me. Maybe if I dive into the ocean? But it'd be faster to run than it would be to swim. As I'm doing all this, the old man calmly gets to work. Steam blows from the ship's smokestack. He kicks off the bridge to the dock. He disappears into the pilot house. The engine starts, and the boat slowly takes off. By the time I reach the dock, it's already too late. The boat leaves white trails in its wake. As it heads outside the harbor. Damn it! What happened? When I turned around, I saw an unfamiliar man there. From his features, I could tell he was a fisherman. I explained the situation to him and asked if I could borrow his boat. Once he heard the story, the man willingly gave his boat to me. I got into the boat and went after the old man and Alt. In the end, the chase finally ended at a familiar city. It took over a whole day just to get here. That's not to say I was chasing after the boat the whole time. However, I knew where the old man was going. So I used the boat's radio to contact Yayoi. Yayoi, it's me. I'm sorry, but I need you to do something. Urgent. You know how my cell phone has a GPS function on it? I want you to find out where it is. Where is it right now? The cell phone isn't on the island. It's on the northern part of the Pacific. That was Yayoi's answer. I left the fishing boat at the harbor, ran to the warehouse district, and rushed into my office. I opened my computer and checked my cell phone's current position. The map on the screen showed a red blip blinking. I carved the location into my memory, quickly took off, and left the agency. When I came to my senses, it started raining. I found myself in an unfamiliar villa. One second. The old mansion, surrounded by trees, was surrounded by mist in the intense evening rain. I gripped my Glock as I lunged into the mansion. I finished searching the first floor and went up to the second floor. I opened the door next to the top of the stairs to find a study. A giant mahogany desk stood in the center of the room. The walls were covered in bookcases with thick books packed from to the brim. On closer look, I realized that it was a sliding kind of bookcase. There was a bit of a gap in the one on the side. I moved the bookcase, and when I did, I found a small square space. However, I couldn't stand there because the floor was cut out in a square shape. I looked down to the hole. It was dark, so I couldn't see well. There was a switch on the wall. Kind of switch with a red lamp with a kind of sorry. The round red button kind of switch. I pushed it. It seemed something was moving. A square piece of flooring rose from the hole. There was a dull sound of metal crashing together. The floor stopped with that sound. There was a simple hand railing attached to the floor. It was an elevator. I got on it and went down. The elevator connected directly to the basement. The room was in a curved shape. I couldn't see the other side of the wall from over here. Concrete surrounded me. The room was dark. A uniquely foul stench hung in the air. It almost smelled like something was rotting. I tiptoed, making sure to conceal my presence as much as possible, and slowly headed further into the room. Eventually, I reached the turn in the. I reached the edge of the turned wall, the curved wall. I took a breath and composed myself. Then, holding my Glock up, I turned the corner and jumped out. Why? Why did this? There was a girl there. A girl who was beyond all recognition. She was leaning against the wall. Her arms dangled down. Her legs limply strung across the floor. A sea of blood spread across the floor. Even more blood spilled out and spread to the corners of the floor. The girl's stomach had been gouged. Her intestines were strewn out. They were scattered all about. Small chunks of meat spread all over the place. What's more, there was something crowding around her. And when I saw what it was, my sense of reason went completely out the window. When I came to my senses, there were 3 boxer dogs lying on the ground near me. They all lie across the floor, their tongues hanging out. I could see the whites of their eyes. Fresh blood clung to their mouths, stuck to their mouths. Though they were unconscious, it seemed they were still breathing. It seemed I was the one who'd beat them up. But now that I'd given myself and vented out my anger, I just felt empty. I dragged my empty shell of a body right next to her. I got on my knees and clutched her cold hand. She just hung her head, not saying a word. She had no face. Her eyes, nose, and mouth were buried in a lump of swollen meat. The only thing that remained of her original shape was her ears. However, I could tell this girl was unmistakably Alt. 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 With my throat shaking, I called her name over and over again.
ねえ、見て見て、釣れたよ、釣れたよ。
Hey, look, look! I caught it! I caught it!
魚、釣れた、釣れたの。
I caught it! I caught a fish!
釣ったのは私だよ。私が釣ったんだよ。
I'm the one who caught it! I caught it!
ねえ、撮ってよ。
Hey, take a picture.
一緒に撮ろう。
Let's take a picture together.
ふむふむ。可愛く撮れてる。
Yep, I look pretty cute in this.
じゃあ、もしも何かあったら、私のことを助けてくれる？
Alright then, if something happens, will you save me?
絶対？
Promise?
約束だからね。
Don't break it, okay? Hey, what are you doing, Alt? Wake up! I've come for you. I came to save you. Just like I promised. Remember what I said? I'm a hero of justice. So, please, come on. Wake up. Open your eyes. Can't have a story where the princess dies. Why? Why won't you wake up? Why? Why? Why did this have to happen? Why did this have to happen? A scream erupted from my throat. It echoed so loud, I almost felt as though it could break through the walls. Eventually, silence returned, everything growing quiet. The only thing that was left was a hopeless sense of powerlessness. It was then that I suddenly noticed something moving out of the corner of my eye. When I turned around, I saw an old man standing there. It was the old man who'd taken Alt from the island. Anger swelled within me, roiling up from the pit of my stomach. All the blood in my body boiled, leaving me lightheaded. I took that unstoppable anger and put it into the trigger of my Glock. No, wait. Someone else here. The man's facing someone. She's pointing a gun at him. Hojo. Everything happened after that was just as it was in my dream. That's right, that dream. That's right. The dream I had on the evening of August 11th, when I was resting on my agency sofa, wasn't some sort of premonition or a product of a delusion. I'd simply recalled the memories from the past year. It came back to me in my days when I was hearing that evening rain. Normally, that memory should have been impossible to come back. But since I was in REM sleep, since see my unconscious weak enough that the memories that should have been locked up opened slightly. Well, who was it that opened that lock? Sorry, who was it who locked them? The answer was a Zero investigator named Minayo Shomoto. After the incident a year ago, I was taken to Zero's headquarters as a witness. Why Zero? I asked that, but no one answered me. Then, when I was in the interrogation room, Shomoto injected me. She said nothing and stuck a syringe in my neck. I didn't know the name of the drug at the time, but now I do. The thing she injected me with was likely Vectamide. I saw the whole incident from start to finish. I think Shomoto gave me that memory erasure drug so in order to keep talking about it. And thus I lost the memories of the last few days of my life. They include my memories of the incident, a vault, and of ever going to Okushi Island. When I came to, my cell phone was already in my hand. But the photo I'd taken back then had been completely erased. That was why I recognized Shomoto's name. Because even though I'd been injected with Vectamide, I vaguely remembered her in the corner of my mind. It was also for the same reason that Shomoto knew my contact address. She knew that, she'd known since a year ago that Hojo and I were acquaintances. The more I remember, the more angry I get. Angry at Kominato, at Shomoto. However, I can't keep reflecting on the past forever. Got more important things to do now.
ねえ、一つ気になってたことがあるんだけど、聞いてもいい？
Hey, there's something bugging me. Mind if I ask? Hojo suddenly asked me that. What is it?
小次郎、さっき車の中でこんなこと言ってたでしょ？
Said back in the car.
俺が今まで会ってきたのはアルトの人格だけだって。
Until now, you'd only ever met Alt's personality. Yeah.
さっき私と会った時も彼女は同じようなことを言ってたの。
Just met with her, she said the same sort of thing.
私の名前はアルト。
Said my name's Alt. So?
いや、それって本当なのかなと思って。
Oh, well, it's just, I was wondering if that was really true. You're a bit too late to be asking that, don't you think?
だけど、もしもそれが本当だとするなら、多重身体とかいう現象も認めなくちゃならなくなるのよ。
If it really is true, then doesn't that mean we have to acknowledge this phenomenon of split bodies?
だってアルトは、すでに亡くなってるわけだし。
All is, well, you know, she's already dead.
小次郎は信じてるの？あの話。
So tell me, do you believe it? Can't say. Despite my words, deep down, I do somewhat believe in this whole phenomenon of split bodies. No, it's not that I believe it, it's that I want to believe it. Alt's body was destroyed. Alt's personality and memories still live on in this other body. That's what I want to believe.
これ
Look at this.
私の名前じゃない。
This isn't my name. The reason she said that back then was because the personality that was currently active at the time was Alt. Noi wasn't her name. It was named for the personality of her older sister. That's why she rejected it. And those were the words written on her thigh. Find Alt. That was a message for the her who'd lost her memories. In other words, all had been telling herself to find herself. If possible, I want that to be true. She wanted it to come true if possible. The only one I interacted with up until now was the alt personality.
待ってたんだよ。
Wait, hold on.
ずっと待ってたの。会えるの。
I'm sorry, I've been waiting for you. I've been waiting so long to see you. It's the same when we met at the hotel. The one who was there at in that room at the time was undoubtedly alt.
悪いけど、携帯は返せないよ。
Sorry, but I'm not giving you back your cell phone.
もうもらっちゃったもん。私のだもん。
You already gave it as a present to me. It's mine.
今朝くれるって言ったじゃん。だから。
You said you gave it to me this morning, so... Wait, hold on a second. I said lend it to you, didn't I?
貸すのも同じだよ。
It's the same thing. How is it the same?
同じだから同じなの。
Look, it's just the same, alright?
とにかく貸したくないの。
I just don't want to give it back.
これは私のお守り。
This is my charm.
だから誰にも触らせない。
So I won't let anyone touch it. Huh. Pretty good. Where'd you learn how to do that?
覚えたわけじゃないよ。
I didn't learn.
魚の心を読んでるだけ。
I just read the fish's hearts and mind. In other words, that's how it is. The all I met on this island last year is still living in that other body. Otherwise, she wouldn't have been so attached to the cell phone, nor would she have said all that stuff about reading a fish's mind and heart. Still, it doesn't mean I can just rejoice. Doesn't change the fact that a girl still died. Indescribable, complicated feeling swirls in my heart. The sound of the waves, plays in my ears. The lonely chirping of insects soaks into my heart. The gentle sea breeze, bathes my body. The chilly wind blows, feels as though it's cleansing my heart. By the way, Koja, what about your memory?
記憶？
Memories? I haven't asked you about that yet, have I? Wait, hold on a second. No, sorry, you still haven't told me, have you? You haven't told me about what happened during those blank 3 hours on August 13th, after you heard that gunshot in the gym. I injected you with around 8:40 p.m. tonight. It's already been 4 hours since then. You should be remembering it right about now, I think. I regained my memory right after that. It happens in an instant. I see everything in an instant, understand everything in an instant. I remember everything that happened from 6:20 p.m. to 9:20 p.m. on August 13th. I remember what happened in that gym and on that hill. I remember what I was doing those 3 hours. The memories race through me, flash in my mind. I'm tired of waiting already. There's no such thing as teleportate. Then I heard a gunshot in the distance. The air in the gym seemed to shake from that roar. I stood up from the chair and aimed for the exit of the gym.
北条さん、どこに行かれるのですか？
Where are you going, Miss Hojo?
テレポーテーションはまだ。
The teleportation hasn't... You really think this is the time to be talking about that kind of stuff? You don't know what that sound was just now? Ivy furrowed her eyebrows in bewilderment and cocked her head. Damn it. I clicked my tongue and took off running again. I raced out of the gym. I couldn't tell what direction the gunshot come from, nor was I sure about the distance from it. But I had heard it from far away. I kicked off the ground, passed through the gates, and raced into the forest. I had no idea where I was. Perhaps all I was doing was blindly searching. So I had no idea where it was. And still, just because a gun had been fired didn't necessarily mean that someone had been shot. Perhaps someone had just fired at a bird, or maybe it had been a misfire of a gun. However, I couldn't just sit still. Especially not doing some silly shit like sitting in a chair, waiting for some weird teleportation stuff to happen. There's no way in hell I could do that. I let my instincts guide me. Searching the area around me. Those are my instincts as an investigator. The sound of that gunshot stirred my heart. I had a indescribably bad feeling. The search continued for a while, but in the end, I couldn't find any leads. Eventually, night came. My feet were swallowed in particles of darkness. Almost as though I was wandering through some black mud. The time was 7:15 p.m. When I saw that time, I remembered something.
母は用が済み次第、あなたにお会いすると申しておりました。
My mother said she'll meet with you when she's done with her business.
今夜7時半、草原の丘でお待ちしているとのことです。
She said she'll be waiting for you on top of the hill at 7:30 tonight. Crap, there's only 15 minutes left. I gotta hurry. I cut my way through the darkness and headed for my destination. Hatsumi was already there by the time I arrived. She stood atop the hill. I climbed up the slope and stood in front of her. Her lips quietly moved.
よくお越しくださいましたね、北条さん。
Thank you for joining me, Hojo. Miss
突
Hojo.
然で申し訳ないのですが、一つお願いがあります。
I'm terribly sorry to ask you of you so suddenly, but there's a favor I'd like to ask of you. Wait, I didn't come here to listen to your favors.
はい、存じております。
Yes, I am aware of that.
聞きたいことがあるのですね。
You have questions of your own, do you not? Yeah, that's right.
しかし、もうお尋ねになる必要はないのではないですか？
But isn't it true that you no longer need to ask them?
あなたはすでに十分すぎるほどの情報を手に入れていらっしゃる。
You've already obtained more than enough information. What do you mean?
昼間お会いした時にあなたがおっしゃったこと。あれはおおむね正解だったということです。
What I'm saying is that the majority of what I told you today was correct.
ここ数日の間に起こった事件はすべて私の主導のもとに行われました。
The incidents that occurred in the last few days were carried out under my command. The hell? What are you trying to pull? What's with all this? Why are you confessing now?
理由は簡単です。死者に口なしですよ。
The reason is simple. It's because dead men tell no tales.
これからお亡くなりになる人に対しては何を話したとしても問題ありません。
For there is no issue in someone who's about to die, talking. What are you saying?
つまりそういうことですよ。お願いというのはそれです。
That's what I'm getting at. This is the favor I wish to ask of you.
あなたは知りすぎてしまった。
You know too much.
ですからここであなたに死んでいただきます。
So you must kill me right here and now. Oh, sorry, so I will kill you right here. A declaration of death comes out with threatening aura. However, her tone is way too detached. The words she told me have almost no sense of reality, leaving me utterly bewildered. It's only right after she pulls out a shining silver object that I finally understand what's going on. Hatsumi reached into her right jacket pocket and slowly took it out. It was a small pistol. I could tell from a single glance that it wasn't a BB gun or anything. She pointed the muzzle at me. She didn't calmly pull the trigger as though it were only a... Put her finger on the trigger as though it were a water gun. My body sprung to action right before that. It was practically a conditioned reflex. My body gave me orders drilled into me from long years of experience. I grabbed Hatsumi's hand that was on the gun. I dragged her wrist toward me. I bent her. As a result, her elbow was bent, causing her gun to point at the sky. With my hands around the gun's slide, I twisted her arm even further. Her fingers slipped from the gun's grip. I immediately stole the gun away from her and threw it away into the plains. Now that I'd gotten taken away her weapon, all that was left was to suppress her. I swept her legs and mowed her down onto the grass. Without wasting any time, I straddled her. I took my gun out from behind my back and pointed at her forehead. There. Suppression complete. The whole thing had only taken 2 to 3 seconds from start to finish. I panted for air. No, sorry, I wasn't gasping. I was totally calm. I calmly spoke. Don't underestimate me.
さすがですね。おみそれしました。
Impressive. I did indeed underestimate you. What's going on here? Why would you pull a stunt like that?
答えは申し上げたはずです。
I believe I already told you.
あなたは知りすぎてしまった。
You know too much.
私たちの組織にとって邪魔なのです。
You're an obstacle for our organization.
だから死んでいただこうと。
So I figured I would kill you.
ただそれだけのことです。
That's all there is to it.
どうしたのです？撃たないのですか？
What's wrong? Are you not going to fire? I have stuff to ask you before that.
何でしょう？
And what's that? Who's the one who really killed the two of them?
二人とは
What do you mean, two of them? Why do you still need to play dumb this late into the game? I'm talking about Kominao and Okuma, obviously.
小湊の方はわかります。しかし大熊の方は
I understand what you mean by Kominao, but as for Okuma, well... Huh?
大熊友義はまだ生きています。
Tomoyoshi Okuma is still alive. Huh?
殺されたのは大熊友義ではなかったということです。
What I'm saying is the one who was killed was not Tomoyoshi Okuma. What are you saying?
一人の公安の捜査官が私たちの組織に潜り込んできました。
A lone public safety investigator infiltrated our organization.
いわゆる潜入捜査というやつです。
A so-called undercover cop.
名前は香取博夢と言います。
His name was Hiromu Katori.
香取は研究所のデータベースに侵入し、組織の機密情報を盗み取りました。
Katori hacked into our lab's database and stole top secret information about our organization.
それが元になって内調と公安は強制捜査に踏み切ることに。
Zero and Public Safety were to conduct their compulsory investigation based on that information.
だから私は香取を抹殺することにしたのです。
That's why I decided that Katori had to go.
彼が殺されたのは昨日の夕方。停電が治る少し前でしたね。
He was killed yesterday evening, shortly before the blackout ended.
わかりますか？あなたは勘違いしていたのですよ。
Do you understand now? You have made a misunderstanding.
あなたは今まで殺されたのがブラーの幹部大熊友義だと思っていた。
Up until now, you believed the one to be killed was Tomoyoshi Okuma, the top brass member of BRA.
でもそうではありません。
But that is not the case.
あなたはレコーディングスタジオの収録室で彼に会いましたね。
You met with him in the recording studio, didn't you?
そう、あなたは彼に会った。
That's right. You met with him.
あそこにいた人物こそが大熊本人です。
The man there was Okuma himself.
あなたは彼のことを知っている。
You know him.
そのあなたが知っている大熊友義は
And that Tomoyoshi Okuma that you know
まだ生きているのです。
is still alive. Then the one who was killed was
公安の香取博夢という男です。
the man named Hiromu Katori of Public Safety.
香取は日銀の情報システム局局長大熊友義になりすまして私たちの組織に潜り込んできたのです。
Katori posed as Tomoyoshi Okuma, the Information Systems Section Chief at the Bank of Japan and infiltrate the organization. No way. That's crazy.
あなたを犯人に仕立て上げるのは簡単なことでした。
It was a simple matter to set you up as the culprit.
何しろ香取博夢は内閣情報調査室の現室長香取美穂の一人息子ですからね。
After all, Hiromu Katori is the only son of Miho Katori, the current section chief of Zero.
小湊殺しの一件で逮捕されたあなたは内調という組織を分けても室長の存在を激しく恨んでいたと警察は見ています。
Second. After you were arrested for Kominato's murder, the police saw that the organization of Zero, or at the very least, their section chief, would have a furious grudge against you.
つまりあなたには十分動機があるということです。
In other words, you would have plenty of motive. No, sorry. The police would have seen. Sorry, read the whole last line completely wrong. Let me try that again. Police realized that when you were arrested for the murder of Kominato, that you would bear an intense grudge against the organization of Zero, or at the very least their section chief. In other words, you would have had plenty of motive to kill her son.
今警察は血眼になってあなたのことを探していますよ。
Right now, the police are tearing heaven and hell apart looking for you.
あなたを陥れたのはこの私です。
I was the one who set you up.
今までのことはすべて私が計画したものです。
Everything that's transpired up until now has been according to my design, my plan.
憎いでしょ。
You must hate me, don't you?
憎くてたまらないでしょ。
You hate me with all your guts, do you not?
そうです。その瞳。
Yes, that's right. Those eyes.
怨念と憎悪のこもったその眼差しを私は求めていたのです。
Those eyes burning with grudge and hatred are exactly what I was looking for.
さあ、撃ちなさい。
Now shoot.
引き金を引くのです。
Pull the trigger.
あなたが私を殺すことによってこの計画は完成するのです。
Your murder of me will complete this plan.
だから早く殺しなさい。
So hurry. Kill me.
私を殺しなさい。撃つのです。さあ。
You must kill me. Shoot. Go on. I fired my gun into the air. I vented my anger that had no outlet into the empty sky. A moment later, I felt a pricking pain in my right thigh. When I looked down, I saw that it came from Hatsumi's left hand. And what she was holding in there was a syringe?
マジシャンがどうしていつもステッキを持っているのかご存知ですか？
Do you know why it is that a magician always carries a staff around?
握りしめた手のひらに種を隠すためです。
It's in order to hide the tricks they're hiding up their sleeve.
ステッキを持っていないと拳の形が不自然に見えてしまうでしょ。
If they weren't holding a staff, then it would look unusual for them to be clenching their hand into a fist, wouldn't it?
だからステッキを。
Hence the staff. What did you just inject me with?
ベクタマイドと睡眠薬を混合したものです。
A mixture of Vectamide and anesthetic.
ベクタマイドとは記憶を消去する薬。
Vectamide is a drug that erases your memories.
内調の捜査官でしたらご存知ですよね。
Well, as investigator Zero, you should already know about it, yes? Oops. Wait, crap. 1 second. Whoops, sorry about that. I got up to my feet. But I was staggering. I couldn't control my body properly.
睡眠薬は即効性のものです。
The anesthetic takes effect immediately.
あなたはもうじき眠りの底へと落ちていきます。
You will be asleep soon.
そして目覚めた時には記憶を失っています。
And when you wake up, your memories will be gone.
と言っても全ての記憶がなくなるわけではないのでご心配なく。
Oh, but do not worry. Not all of your memories will be gone.
薬の分量は適度に調節してあります。
I carefully adjusted the amount of the
そう
drug.
ですね。夕方よりも前のことなら思い出すことができるかもしれません。
Let me think. You might be able to remember what happened before this evening.
けれどそれ以降のことは全て忘れてしまいます。
But you will forget everything after that.
当然今こうしてお話ししていることもさらには私にあったことさえ思い出すことはできなくなるでしょう。
That means you will not be able to remember that we talked, much less met each other. Why are you doing this? I wrung out my voice. Hatsumi answered.
明日こそあなたは本当に私を殺すことになります。
Tomorrow, I will make it so you truly do kill me.
それによって私の計画は完成するのです。
By doing so, my plan will be complete.
これはそのための準備のようなものですよ。
It's a sort of preparation for that. I didn't understand what she meant. Before I could even do that, I could no longer even recognize her voice's words. My consciousness faded, my vision growing black. I flopped down onto the plains. And then I sunk into a deep black darkness. I see. Now I get it. So what you're saying is that the same stuff as yesterday was repeated step for step today, which including what happened in the gym and on the plains on the hill. Hojo nods in front of me. I see. Now things are getting clearer. Now I'm starting to see what the result of the plan Hasumi conceived was.
そうね。私もなんとなく分かったわ。
To see it as well. But still, this sure is surprising. I can't believe that Tomio Shokuma is still alive. It's true, right?
ねえ、確かよ。ミカエルもそう言ってたもの。
Yes, I'm sure of it. Mikhail said the same as well. Hojo tells me about it. About the message that Mikhail left her on his voice recorder.
北条さん、今あなたがこれを聞いているということは、私はもうこの世には存在しないのでしょう。
If you're listening to this, Hojo, that means I'm no longer in this world.
覚悟は決めました。後悔はしていません。
I prepared myself. I have no regrets.
これでやっと私は彼女のところに行けるんだ。初見のところへ。
Now I'll finally be able to go to where she is, where Hatsumi is.
ただ一つだけ心残りなことがあります。
Correction, I suppose I do have one regret.
あなたに嫌われたままこの世を去るのが辛いのです。
It will be painful for me to leave this world being hated by you.
私は最後の最後まであなたに嘘をついてしまった。
I lied to you all the way to the bitter end.
しかし、ああ言わなければ、きっとあなたはこの車を降りてくれなかったでしょう。
But I'm sure that you wouldn't have gotten out of the car if I hadn't said that.
あなたは生き残るべき人間だ。この世界にとって必要な人間なんだ。
You're someone who deserves to live. Someone necessary for this world.
これ以上、あなたを危険な目に遭わせるわけにはいかなかったのです。
I couldn't afford to put you through any more danger.
どうか分かってください。
Please understand.
さあ、北条さん、時間がありません。
Now there's no time, Hojo.
この道はじきに岬の先端へと達します。後ろには例のピックアップトラックがつけています。
This road leads to the end of a cape soon. That pickup truck is still chasing me too.
ですから、要点だけを手短にお伝えしましょう。
So I'll keep this short and just sum it up.
8月12日の夕方、レコーディングスタジオの収録室で一人の男が殺されましたね。
A man was killed in a recording studio on August 12th. On the evening of August 12th, yes?
あなたはその人物について今までこう思っていたはずです。
Now this is what you believed about that man up until now.
殺害されたのはブラーおよび日銀の幹部大隈智義だと。
You thought the man killed was Tomoyoshi Okuma, a top brass member of BRA and the Bank of Japan.
しかしそれは誤りです。殺されたのは大隈智義ではありません。
But that's wrong. It wasn't Tomoyoshi Okuma who was killed.
香取博夢という男だったのです。
It was a man named Hiromu Katori.
香取博夢は公安の捜査官でブラーへの潜入捜査をしていました。
Hiromu Katori was an investigator of public safety and was undercover in BRA.
日銀の情報システム局局長大隈智義の名を語り、密かにブラーの内部に潜り込んでいたのです。
He took on the name of Bank of Japan's Information Systems Section Chief Tomoyoshi Okuma and secretly infiltrated BRA's inner workings.
やがて香取はブラーの機密事項を手に入れることになります。機密情報とはクローンとウイルスのことです。
Eventually, Katori got his hands on some of BRA's top secret information. That included about the clones in the information was about the clones in the virus.
彼は上層部に捜査の報告をしました。
He reported his findings to his superiors.
それを聞いた内調と公安は破防法の適用を前提に強制捜査に踏み切る意向を固めたのです。
One second. Alright, sorry, here we go. When they heard that, Serum Public Safety, applying that as a violation of the Japanese Anti-Subversive Activities Act, planned to conduct a compulsory investigation of them.
私はただ組織の命令に従っているだけだ。
I'm simply obeying my organization's orders.
もっと偉大で崇高な組織だ。
A grander and more sublime organization. So the organization that that Katori was talking about back then wasn't BRA, rather public safety.
ところでどうして香取は実在の人物大隈智義の名前を語ったのでしょうか。
Incidentally, you may be wondering why Katori took on the name of a living man such as Tomoyoshi Okuma.
その方が信憑性が増すからです。
The answer was to make him seem more credible.
香取は日銀の幹部である大隈になりすますことによって
Posing as a top brass member of the Bank of Japan like Okuma.
巧みに我々へと接近し、まことしやかに資金提供の話を持ちかけてきました。
Katsuri approached us cleverly and offered to fund us in a very deceptive manner.
その見返りとして研究所の内部へと入る権限を手に入れ、機密情報を奪取するに至ったのです。
In return, we allowed him access into our labs, which gave him the opportunity to steal the top secret information.
無論何の断りもなく大熊の名を語ることはできません。
Of course, it's not to say he took on Okuma's name without any reservation. Could have taken
そん
on.
なことをしてもすぐにバレてしまいますから。
Sorry. Of course, it's not to say that he could have taken on Okuma's name without any sort of reservations. After all, he would have been found out right away if he was.
香取と大熊は結託していたのです。
Katori and Okuma conspired together.
二人は潜入捜査の前に綿密な打ち合わせをしていました。
The two of them met in secret before Katori infiltrated Bra.
香取は大熊に対し、何か聞かれても口裏を合わせておいてくれとそう頼んでいました。
Katori told Okuma to asked Okuma to tell him, to talk to him if he ever heard anything, so the two of them could get their stories straight.
さらに二人は互いの住居も交換し合っていました。
Furthermore, the two of them swapped residences.
香取にしてみれば盤石の構えで大熊になりすましたつもりだったのでしょう。
Hold on a second. For Katsuri, he probably thought his plan of impersonating Okuma was rock solid.
しかし香取には大きな誤算がありました。
But Katsuri made a grave miscalculation.
大熊という人間の本質を見誤ったのです。
He read Okuma's character wrong.
大熊は香取を裏切りました。すべてを初見に密告したのです。
Okuma betrayed Katori. He secretly reported everything to Hatsumi. Public safety investigator known as Hiromu Katori has infiltrated Bra as a spy. In exchange for leaking that information, Okuma was granted the position as the top brass member of Bra, exactly what we've been hoping for.
話を聞いた初見はこう考えました。
When she heard the truth, Hatsumi felt this.
これ以上の機密の漏洩は何としても防がなければならない。
We must prevent any more secrets from leaking.
計画を妨げられてはならない。強制捜査を引き延ばさなければならない。
The plan must not be interrupted. The compulsory investigation must be delayed as long as possible.
決することにしたのです。
It was then she decided that Katsuri had to go.
カトリを消した理由はそれだけではありません。もう一つあります。
That's not the only reason why she had Katsuri killed. There was another reason.
北条さん、カトリという名前に聞き覚えがあるでしょう。
Hojo, I'm sure you recognize the name Katori.
内閣情報調査室の現室長、香取美穂。ヒロムは香取室長の一人息子です。
It's the current section chief of Shiro, Miho Katori. Hiromu, is her only son.
そして香取室長は覚えていらっしゃいますね。
You remember Section Chief Katori, don't you?
小湊隆二の要請を受け、1年前の誘拐殺人事件を闇に葬り去った張本人でもありました。
She was the one who took Ryuji Kominato's request and covered up the kidnapping murder a year ago.
その息子である香取ヒロムが村の潜入捜査をしていた。
And her son, Hiromu Katori, infiltrated Bra.
初見は何のためらいもなく抹殺という判断を下したようです。
It seems that Hatsumi gave out the assassination order without any reservations.
北条さん、お分かりですね。
You understand now, right, Hojo?
あなたは私のついた嘘を鵜呑みにしてしまったのです。
You took my lies at face
昨
value.
日殺されたのは大隈智義ではなく公安の香取ヒロムだった。
The one who was killed yesterday was not Tomoyoshi Okuma, but the public safety agent Hiromu Katori.
つまり大隈智義はまだ生きているということです。
In other words, Tomoyoshi Okuma is still alive.
彼はこの島に来ています。私のすぐ近くにいます。
He's come to this island. He's very close to you.
今私の後ろでピックアップトラックを運転している人物こそが
In fact, the very person driving the pickup truck behind me right now is
本物の大隈智義なのです。
the real Tomoyoshi Okuma. At the harbor, the man who attacked me and used Himuro as a hostage. That shadow, the unsettling shadow I faced off was the real Tomoyoshi Okuma. Alright, anyway, let's continue. He's the information systems section chief at the Bank of Japan, and he even rose. And he currently has even risen all the way up to the top ranks of BRA. The man that I met at the recording studio was the real Tomoyoshi Okuma.
北条さん、そろそろ終点が見えてきました。
Hojo, the end is coming up.
最後にもう一つだけ大事なことをお話ししましょう。
Let me tell you one more important thing.
小湊と香取、この二人を殺害した実行犯についてです。
It's about the one who really killed Kominato and Katori.
その人物はあなたを犯人に仕立て上げるために変装をしていました。
That person put on the disguise in order to set you up as the killer.
シリコンマスクと変声機を使って北条マリナになりすましていたのです。
Using a silicone mask and the voice changer, They disguise themselves as Marina Hojo.
もしかしたらあなたはエフィを疑っていらっしゃるのかもしれませんが、彼女ではありません。
You may be suspecting Effie, but it wasn't her.
木関エフィは犯人ではない。
Effie Kiseki is not the killer.
では、小湊と香取を撃ち殺した人物とは一体誰なのか。
In that case, just who was the one who killed Kominato and Katori?
犯人は
The answer is... Because the recording ends there. The recording probably got turned off when he hit the emergency brakes at the edge of the cave.
手を滑らせてボイスレコーダーを落としちまったんだろうな。
His hand must have slipped and causing him to drop the voice recorder. I think so.
それにしても参ったな。
But man, this sucks.
ミカエルの言ったことが正しいとするなら、俺の推理が。
If what Mikhail says is true, then my deductions are... Your deductions?
いやー、なんでもない。気にしないでくれ。
Nah, never mind. Don't worry about it. My galaxy brain is far too big for your puny little investigator brain to understand my world-class theories. Oh, god damn it, Kojiro. Will you just tell us already?
なあ、補助。ちょっと後ろ振り向いてくれないか。
Hey, Hojo, would you turn around?
いいから頼むよ。
Just do it, will you? I don't know what he's getting at. But in any case, it's no big deal. I do as I'm told and turn around.
うん。そうだよな。
Just as I thought. I hear a voice behind me. And after that, I feel something press against my shoulder. I tilt my head and look behind me. Hojo's face is right in front of me. What are you doing? I turn around and slap him.
いた。
Hey, it's your fault for being such a creep.
俺はただお前のすべやかな肌を鼻先で優しく愛撫していただけだ。
I was just giving your smooth skin a little massage with my nose, that's all. And that's exactly why I'm calling you a creep! You pervert! You monster!
ああ、そうだな。確かに俺はけだものかもしれん。
You animal! Yep, that's right. I'm indeed an animal.
犬みたいだと言われたこともある。
I've been compared to a dog before. Fucking what?
いやな。一応念のためもう一度だけ確かめておこうと思って。
In all seriousness, I was just checking something just to be safe. What are you talking about?
気にすんなって。大したことじゃない。
Don't worry about it, it's no big deal.
さてと、そろそろ行動を再開することにしよ
Alright then, it's time to get moving again.
う。何か言い残したことは？
Still have anything left to say? Nope, nothing.
よし。それじゃあいよいよ最終決戦だ。
Alright then, it's time for the final battle.
目的はアルトの奪還、および犯人の確保。
Our objective is to rescue Alt and arrest the culprit.
準備はいいな。
You ready? I give a nod. Hojo gets into the pickup truck. I follow after him. The car drives away from the beach and heads east on the roads. We arrive at the base of the lighthouse on the eastern cape. Eastern Cove. I mean. Hojo already knows that the entrance to the research facility is here. Apparently she heard about it from a fisherman named Okuto. The White Tower stands tall and grand in front of us. The column goes down, leading straight to connecting to the hive. almost though it's symbolizing something.
この下にあるとが
Also under this thing? Well, not directly under. However, there's almost no doubt that her invisible house is here. You saw Okuma take Alt away, right?
ええ。でも島中を探し回ったけど見つからなかった。
Yes, but I looked over the island and couldn't find her. And Alt wasn't in that sedan either, which means
まだ探してない場所。地下の研究所に彼女はいる。そういうことね。
wait, I see where you're getting at. So the only place she could be is the place we haven't looked at yet, the underground laboratory. Okuma and Effie should be there too. I'm sure the three of them are in the lab. Because I heard a certain piece of important information from Hojo on my way to the lighthouse. The information in question was the reason why it was that Okuma took Alt away. It seems there's almost no doubt that Okuma's true goal... Now, hold on a second. Now we know Okuma's true goal, it's almost certain that he's in the lab. Alright, let's go. Dawn's gonna come if we just keep standing back. Hojo and I circle around to the back of the lighthouse. I place the ring in the groove in the panel just like before and turn it. The door opens, leading to the spiral staircase that heads underground. I put the ring in my pocket and head down the spiral staircase with Hojo. The room is completely empty. Terminals are lined up here and there, though what purpose they serve I don't know. Hold on a second. The only things I can't understand are the various sequencers, chromatography equipment, centrifuges, and spectrophotometers. As for the rest, I got no clue. It seems several of the computers are still on, as the motors and cooling fans are spinning. I can hear the motors and cooling fans spinning.
まさかこの島の地下にこんな研究所があったなんて。
I never would have imagined there was a research facility on this island. Hojo looks around the room in exasperation.
で、アルトはどこに？
So where's Alt? Let's take a look in the dome up ahead for now.
ドーム？
Dome? Yeah, a really creepy dome. I head further into the room. There's nothing in my hand. I don't have the Uzi with me. I used up all the bullets back on the hill. And likewise, the other Uzi that Himuro has completely empty. Hojo's also empty-handed. It seems she got rid of the gun that she borrowed from from Mikhail on the night he was murdered. The only weapon we have is the Glock in my breast pocket. There was only 2 shots left in it.
どうしたの？入らないの？
What's wrong? You not going in? Don't rush me. Open it now. I put my fingers on the touch panel. Colorful lights. Interior, a showy interior. She is standing underneath that false sky. It's Effie.
やはりお見えになりましたね。待っていたのですよ。
I figured I'd be seeing you. I've been waiting for you.
相変わらず何もかも知ってるような口ぶりね。
I see someone still talking like they know everything.
アルトはどこ？
Where's Alt?
この研究所の中におります。
She's in this facility. Where in this facility?
今はまだお教えすることはできません。
I still can't tell you that yet.
まだ？
Not yet.
そうです。いずれ時が来ればご案内いたしましょう。
That's right. I'll show you to her when the time comes. Sorry, but we don't have time to play around with you. Hojo, look for her. I'll deal with her.
だけど。
I'm sorry, I'll deal with this woman. Huh? But... Look, just do what I say, okay?
わかったわ。
Got it. Hojo turns around and leaves the room. You're not gonna stop her?
ええ。どうせ探しても無駄だと思いますから。
Yes, after all, I don't believe she'll find her no matter how hard she looks. Well, whatever. There are things I want to ask you.
天城さんはすでに何もかもご存知なのではないですか？
Don't you already know everything? For the most part, yeah. There are still some things I don't get. First, let me ask you about the incident at the hotel. Right after the blackout occurred. About when Alt suddenly disappeared from the elevator. Why did that happen?
どうして私にお尋ねになるんです？そこに私は。
Why are you asking me? I wasn't there. Wrong. You were at that hotel, I know it. Because the one in the linen box back then, because the one in the linen's cart back then was you, Effie. Back then, you put on the silicone mask and wig and pretended to be Marina Hojo. You got the disguise tools from Mikhail. Probably. Mikhail had already obtained a 3D image of Hojo's face before then. That, or maybe as to say, Nayuta Yashiro. Sorry, that, or maybe he ordered 8, as to say, Nayuta Yashiro. To get pictures of Hojo's face from all sorts of angles. Whatever case, using those images as a base, they were able to make a silicone mask that was identical to Hojo's face. And Mikhail gave it to you.
なぜミカエルから手渡されたと？
How do you know, what makes you think Mikhail gave it to me? Because it was Mikhail who gave Hojo the disguise kit back at the police station. And you and Mikhail are in the same organization. Sorry, you and Mikhail are collaborators. Mikhail was a part of the plan. I don't think I need to explain anymore, do I? Effie runs her hand through her hair, staring off into space. Her eyes waver with loneliness. Sadly, she speaks up.
確かにあのリネンボックスの中にいたのはこの私です。
It's true that I was indeed the one in that Lynn's cart.
北条さんのマスクをつけていたのも事実です。
It's also a fact that I put on Hojo's mask.
けれどそれはミカエルからもらったものではありません。
I did not get it from Mikhail.
用意したのは私の母初美です。
The one who got those was my mother Hatsumi.
北条さんに手渡された変装道具一式も元はといえば母が手に入れたもの。
The disguise kit that Hojo was given was also originally obtained by my mother.
母がミカエルにそれらを託し、ミカエルが北条さんのもとへと送り届けた。
My mother gave them to Mikhail, who in turn gave them to Hojo.
矢印の向きが逆なんですよ。
The direction of the arrow is the complete opposite. None of that matters at this point. What matters is the fact that you had a mask of Hojo. You understand what this means, right? Well, for now, let's just go back to the hotel. Let me ask you one more time. Why did you do that? The answer was in order to make it look like Alt disappeared from the elevator. Now, why was that?
具体的におっしゃっていただかなければわかりません。
Not to be more specific, I'm not following you.
私があの時何をしたというのです？
What are you saying exactly I did back then? Alright, fine. You want spoilers? I'll give you spoilers. It was actually a very simple trick. The ones in the elevator back then were you and Alt. No, probably you and Noi. I think that girl's personality switched to Noi during our escape. Noi suddenly pushed me out of the elevator. The doors closed. I began fighting with the police that were chasing after us. Where did the elevator go in the meantime? To the basement? No, that's wrong. The elevator you were in didn't go down, but rather up. It probably stopped one floor above, on the 16th floor. It was Effie. You were the only one who got off the elevator down on the 16th floor. Noi, now only accompanied by the Lynn's cart full of sheets, went back down the elevator to the 15th floor. In that time, I had already finished my fight with the cops and was headed down the emergency stairs. I raced my way down towards the basement. At that time, the elevator reached the 15th floor. Noi pushed the Lynn's cart and ran over to where Marina Hojo was. At the time, Hojo was hiding behind a pillar. It was then that she met up with Noi, who told her to hide in the Lynn's cart. Hojo did as she said and hid in the cart. Noi pushed that back into the elevator on the 15th floor. However, she didn't get back in. She stepped out of the elevator just before the doors closed. At the time, Hojo was covered by the sheets, so she couldn't see what was happening outside. And thus the elevator went down to the basement with only Hojo in it. The elevator didn't stop from floors 14 to 1. It was designed to go straight to the basement from there. Hence why I reached the basement in no time at all. At the exact same time, I finally finished going down 16 floors. When I reached the basement, the elevator doors opened. When I looked inside, the only ones there were the Lynn's cart and Hojo. It may look as though that girl had vanished into thin air. It's only natural now that I think about it. There's no way that, no matter how fast I was, there's no way she would have reached the bottom at the same time as the elevator. There's also, considering how I was fighting the cops before then, too. In other words, you may look as though Hojo and I went through the same experience, creating a time trick between the two of us. Now, will you tell me? Why did you do that?
私たちは翌日に予定していた第2の犯行も北条さんに罪をかぶせるつもりでいました。
We planned to set Hojo up as the murderer for the second killing that would occur the next day.
そのためには北条さんの逃亡を手助けしてあげなければなりません。
We had to aid in Hojo's escape in order to make that a reality.
彼女が警察に捕まってしまっては犯人に仕立て上げることができなくなってしまうからです。
After all, she was arrested by the police, and we couldn't set her up as the culprit. I know that. That's why Mikhail brought Hojo to the hotel.
ええ、しかしそれだけでは不安でした。安全策を用意しておく必要があったのです。
Yes, however, we weren't sure that alone would be enough. We needed a backup plan too.
私は北条さんのマスクを装着し、隣室で待機していました。
I put on Hojo's mask and waited on standby in the next room over.
万が一警察に居場所を突き止められた場合には、私がおとりとなって部屋を飛び出し、警察を引きつける。
That way, in the off chance that the police managed to find where she was, I would run out of the room as bait and draw the police's attention.
その隙に北条さんに逃亡していただこうと、そういう予定になっていたのです。
In that time, Hojo could use the opportunity to escape. That was the plan.
そして実際、私は予定通りに行動しました。
And indeed, I acted exactly according to plan.
警察に包囲されたことを知った私は部屋を飛び出し、おとりになって連中を引きつけました。
Once I learned that the hotel had been surrounded by the police, I ran out of the room and used myself as bait to draw the police away.
あの時、もしも北条さんが老婆のマスクを身につけていたとしたら、警察は当分の間、私を追いかけ続けていたことでしょう。
If Hojo had been wearing the old woman mask back then the police would have gone after me instead.
ところが、
However, Hojo left the room without putting the mask on. The police found her immediately, and thus leading them to chase after the three of us. Effie nods and continues.
あなた方が通路の途中で別れた後、私はあの子と合流しました。
I met up with that girl after the three of you split up in the hall.
そこであの子はこんなことを、いい考えがあるって。
She then said she had a good idea.
そしてどこからかキャスター付きのリネンボックスを持ってきて、その中に入るようにとあの子は私に言いました。
Then she grabbed a linen cart and told me to get in.
私はあの子の指示に従うことにしました。
I did as she asked.
その後のことは先ほど天城さんがおっしゃった通りです。
Everything after that is precisely as you surmised.
あの子は16階で私だけをエレベーターの外に出し、リネンボックスとともに再び15階へと戻っていきました。
That girl went to the 16th floor, dropped me off there, and went back to the 15th floor with the Lynn's cart.
訳を聞いても何も教えてはくれませんでした。
So you can ask me for a reason, but there's nothing I can tell you.
ただ いたずらっぽい笑みを浮かべてみせただけで。
Oh, sorry. Even when I asked her for a reason, she didn't answer me. She just gave a mischievous smile.
ですから
So,
なぜとお尋ねになられても答えようがないのです。
I have no way of answering your question.
理由ならあの子に聞いてください。
If you want to know, then ask her. Fine. Just being able to confirm that you have the mask is good enough. I can explain what happened in the gym too with that.
体育館のこと
The gym. Hey, don't think you can play dumb now. I'm talking about that bullshit magic show you put on to try and make it look like teleportation was real. Unlike the elevator incident, I know what your motive was for this. What you were trying to do is clear as day. First, on 6 p.m. on August 13th, you met with Hojo in the gym. You had Hojo sit in that chair and tell her you were going to prove to her that teleportation existed. A little while later, there was a gunshot. Hojo got up. And ran out of the gym. This is everything that happened on August 13th. That's right. On that day, nothing happened. Then the next day, 6 p.m. on the 14th. Approximately 9 hours ago. Back then, you pulled some rather nifty tricks. The first thing you did was show yourself to me, dressed in your normal clothes, dressed as yourself. You parked your car at the gate, got out, and went to the gym. And then, while Alt and I were busy in the infirmary, you disguised yourself as Hojo. You put on the silicone mask and wig. And took off the clothes you were wearing. You were probably wearing Hojo's suit underneath them. I gotta say, damn, it must have been pretty damn hot. Oh, right, and there's one other thing. You also put on a voice changer. You modified it so that you would speak in Hojo's voice. With this, the preparations were set. You secretly snuck out of the gym and went back around the gate. When All Night went out to the schoolyard, you were already there. You've probably been waiting on standby so you could show yourself. Once you confirmed I'd seen you, you walked off. This way, you acted like as though you'd only just arrived. In disguised as Hojo, you went through the gate and went back into the gym. I peeked in at you through a gap in the boards of the gym. You sat there on the chair, disguised as Hojo. Naturally, I didn't realize that at the time. I don't know what you were up to, but then you put on a one-man show. You made it look as though you repeated your conversation with Hojo yesterday, word for word. Whenever you were speaking as Hojo, you turned the voice changer on, Whenever you're speaking as yourself, you turned it off. This was clearly to confuse anyone watching. You wanted to make it look, though, as though both Marina Hojo and Effie Kizeki were in there. Eventually, a gunshot rang out, just like yesterday. That gunshot has a very important meaning, but I'm not going to get to that just yet. Anyway, the gunshot rang. When I heard the sound, I instinctively looked away from the gym and instead turned towards the gunshot. When I looked back in, Hojo, or rather you disguised Hojo, had vanished from the chair. I frankly ran into the gym. When I got in, I found you in your normal hair and clothes. When I looked away until I went to the gym, you wore the clothes that you've been wearing first all over Hojo's clothes. It goes without saying that he'd already taken off the mask and wig by then as well, too. Though I have no idea where you hid them. Well, knowing you probably hid them in the place no man can reach. And there you have it. That's how you conclude your experiment to make it look as though teleportation had actually occurred. Hojo wasn't in that gym at 6 p.m. on the 14th. You were there all by yourself. You were just putting on a brilliant one-man performance. Magic show all by yourself. Now then, the question is, as for your motive, I decided we'll explain that later. Before that, I think we should talk about the two murders first. Kominato and Katori's murders. I won't be around the bush. I'll just cut to the chase. You're the one who killed the two of them, weren't you, Effie?
なぜそう思われたのです？
What makes you believe that? It should be pretty obvious. Because you just admitted it. You said you used the silicon mask to disguise yourself as Hojo. I don't need to explain anything else now, do I?
北条さん本人が殺害したという可能性は？
What about the possibility that Hojo herself killed them? There's no chance of that. At the very least, I can say for sure there's no chance that she killed Katori.
どうしてですか？
Why is that? I witnessed Katori getting murdered. It's true that back then, the one who fired the gun was a person who looked like Hojo. On her left shoulder, there was no tattoo. No tattoo sticker had been applied there. Hojo put that tattoo on during daytime in the 12th. It seems she never had the sticker removed once in that time. Katori was murdered on the evening of that same day, shortly right before the power went back on. So if the one in the recording studio back then was Hojo herself, then she should have had that tattoo on her shoulder. However, the person who looked like Hojo that I saw had no such tattoo. When I combine that with what you told me about the silicon mask stuff we've talked about up until now, it's only natural to conclude that it was a different person entirely.
その時だけシールを剥がして 犯行の後に貼り直したのかもしれませんよ。
She could have taken the sticker off then and put it back on after the crime. I see. But there's one more reason why I'm sure that Hojo isn't the killer.
それは
And what's that? The smell.
匂い。
The smell? Yes. The scent I smelled at the scene of Katori's murder. The smell of lavender. It wasn't coming from Katori's body, nor was it coming from somewhere in the room. I could tell right away that it was the killer's lingering scent. For this, I found one of the necessary conditions. The killer is someone who smells of lavender, and someone who doesn't smell of lavender can't be the culprit. However, I gave Hojo a good sniff when I met up with her earlier, but I didn't smell any lavender on her. That meant that Hojo didn't meet the conditions to be the killer. It was then that I showed myself to Hojo at the inn. No, sorry, misread an earlier line. However, I've known Hojo a long time, and not once have I ever smelled any lavender on her. Meaning that I had to confirm that she didn't meet the conditions. So then I showed myself to Hojo at the inn on this island. There, I went around her and sniffed her, but in the end I didn't smell any lavender on her. Therefore, Hojo can't be the culprit. My suspicions became convictions then.
それだけでは根拠としては希薄です。
It's so rather flimsy.
北条さんは犯行の時だけラベンダーの香水を。
Perhaps Hojo only wore lavender at the time of the crime. Wait, I'm not done yet. Hojo wasn't even at the scene of the crime to begin with. Hiromu Katori and Tomoyoshi Okuma had swapped houses. The place I went to was Okuma's own house, and the one living there was Hiromu Katori. I learned the location from an information broker. On the other hand, Hojo went to Hiromu Katori's house, where Tomoyoshi Okuma himself was living. It seemed that she'd ordered Alt at a club named Hive to take her to Okuma's house. And so Alt did indeed take her to the house that Okuma himself was using. But by the house that Okuma was currently living in, meant that it was actually Hiromu Katori's own house that she took Hojo to. Meaning that Hojo and I didn't see the same thing at the same place at the same time. Two of us were in different places altogether. That's all there was to it.
香取の件については分かりました。
I understand about Katori's murder now.
では、小湊の方はどうです？
Then how about Kominato's murder?
北条さんが犯人であるという証拠が2つありますけど。
There are two pieces of evidence that Hojo was the culprit there. What, you still don't know? Apparently, a fisherman named Okto Yashio confessed. He told Hojo that he had her ballistic markings data swapped out, rewritten. It seems it was done under Hatsumi's orders. And the other piece of evidence you're talking about is the phone call Kominado himself made to the police, right? That would have been easy to pull off using the voice changer. After killing Kominado, the killer used the voice changer to make after killing Kominado, the killer used the voice changer and placed a call to the police.
あいつが来た。あいつが来た。助けてくれ。
She's here! She's here! Save me!
私を殺しに来たんだ。銃を持ってる。
She's come to kill me! She's got a gun!
内調の捜査官だよ。
That's Zero Investigator.
名前は確か。
If I remember right, her name is...
北条マリナだ。
わかりました。北条さんが犯人ではないということは認めましょう。
I understand. I admit that Hojo wasn't the culprit.
けれど、だからといって私が犯人だということにはならないと思いますが。
However, even so, I don't think that proves that I'm the killer. There are 5 reasons why I deduce that you're the culprit. First of all, is that you had a clear motive. You held a bloodthirsty grudge against Kominado for the kidnapping murder a year ago. Second reason was that Katori was a public safety spy. So you need to kill... No, sorry. Because Katori was a public spy, you need to delay the compulsory investigation. He needs to be assassinated. The second reason, Katsumi already confessed it herself. To Hojo, apparently. The incidents that happened in the past few days, including the 2 murders, were all planned by Hatsumi. This is clear. However, it's impossible for Hatsumi to have been the actual culprit. She's an old woman. There's no way she could have disguised herself as Hojo. However, which meant that which means the caller had to be a loyal follower of Hatsumi's, with someone with and a woman with almost the exact same age and body build as Hojo. The third reason. Hold on a second. Alright, third reason is that it's highly likely that Kominado was killed by someone he knew. Kominado was murdered in the basement of his villa. I can't imagine that old man would have let a total stranger into his house and showed them all the way to his secret room too. Let me guess, you're gonna say that what if the front door was unlocked? Well, I can't say for sure that's not a possibility. But here's what I think. Kominado likely met his wife of half a century ago. His former wife, spitting image of his wife at the time, suddenly appeared at his mansion. In which case, he would have been off his game and let her into the house. However, you're Hatsumi's clone. You look exactly like Hatsumi did 45 years ago. Which is why I believe that you weren't wearing the silicone mask when you killed Kominato. Though that said, this is just a guess. On the other hand, the culprit was undoubtedly wearing a silicone mask when Katsuri was murdered. That was in order to make the housekeeper at the scene of the crime see her and testify that Hojo was the culprit. And you admitted that you used the mask to pose as Hojo. This is the fourth reason. Last but not least, it's about the smell I was talking about earlier. The smell of lavender that the killer needed to have. The first time I noticed it was in the reception room at La Bayou. Remember what I said back then? I asked if you'd like lavender. I wasn't talking about the flowers in the pot. I was talking about perfume. I knew from then that you wore lavender perfume. Hence why I suspected you when I smelled it at the scene of Katsuri's murder. However, normally you wouldn't go around assuming that someone was wearing a silicone mask. I didn't know your motive either. That's because back then I believed the one to have been murdered was Tomoyoshi Okuma. And I wasn't confident about the perfume either. I couldn't say for sure that what I'd smelled yesterday and the smell at the scene of the crime were exactly the same. It was only just recently that I became sure of it. At the shrine at 9 p.m. today, at the shrine on this island. Back then, you leaned against my chest. And when I did, I asked you why you did that. And when I did, you said,
あなたの欲望だから。これがあなたの求めていたもの。そうお答えしました。
Yes, I said, it's because that's what you wanted. It's because this is what you were looking for. Indeed, that was what I was looking for. I was looking to confirm if it was your smell. That was indeed what I wanted back then. The smell of the scene of the crime and your smell were exactly the same. Back then, I was going to ask her why she was doing this, but I stopped myself. There was no need to ask, because I already heard the answer. She said it was because I had put her actions into disorder. But please think about it one more time. Isn't there a piece missing? If you fill in that one piece, you should be able to understand my actions. It was all for love. Love for my mother, my daughters, and love for one another. And it's for those 5 reasons I conclude you are the culprit. Do you have anything to say for yourself? Effie quietly speaks.
あります。5つすべてについて。
I do, about all 5.
動機があるのは私だけですか？
Was I the only one with a motive?
母の忠実なしもべは私だけですか？
Was I the only loyal follower of my mother?
小湊と顔見知りなのは私だけですか？
Was I the only one whose face Kominato knew?
北条さんになりすますことができるのは私だけですか？
Was I the only one who disguised myself as Hojo?
最後です。
And last,
ラベンダーの香水をつけているのは私だけなのでしょうか？
was I the only one who wore lavender perfume? Of course, there are people who meet all those who meet in those individual conditions. However, you're the only one who meets all of them.
本当にそうでしょうか？
Is that really true?
本当にそのように断言することができますか？
Can you really say that for sure?
最後にもう一つだけ大事なことをお話ししましょ
Let me tell you one more important thing.
う。もしかしたらあなたはビフィを疑っていらっしゃるのかもしれませんが、彼女ではありません。
You may be suspecting Effie, but it wasn't her.
キゼキエフィは犯人ではない。
Effie Kizeki isn't the killer.
では、小湊と香取を撃ち殺した人物とは一体誰なのか。
In that case, who was the one who killed Kominato and Katori?
犯人は
The killer is...
例えば香水について
For example, let's talk about this perfume.
あなたはその香りをどこか別の場所で嗅いだことはありませんか？
Was there nowhere else where you smelled that scent?
よく思い出してください。
Please think about it carefully.
私がいないにもかかわらずラベンダーの匂いが漂っていた空間、
A place where that smell of lavender, you know, I wasn't there.
心当たりはありませんか？
You have no idea? The instant, something flashes through my mind. Is someone here?
どうしてですか？
Why do you ask? Because I smell someone's lingering scent.
花がいいんですね。
Flowers sure are nice, aren't they? Oh, sorry. Oh, bleh. Sorry, I should actually read instead of just listen. You have a good nose, huh? Well, I am a detective. Impossible! But there's no way Hatsumi could have disguised herself as Hojo.
もういいでしょう。すべてお話しします。
That's enough. I'll tell you everything.
天城さんがこれまでにおっしゃったことはおおむね正解です。
What you've said until now has been correct for the most part.
ただ一つ、結論の部分だけが違いました。
However, you're wrong about your conclusion.
私は誰も殺してはいません。
I killed no one.
3人を殺害した実行犯は私の母、初美なのです。
The one who killed all three of them was my mother, Hatsumi. 3?
小湊と香取と、それからもう一人は
Kominato, Katori, and one other.
母自身です。
My mother herself.
母は自ら胸を撃ち抜いて命を絶ちました。
My mother shot herself in the chest and killed herself. So it was suicide?
ええ、そうです。
Yes, that's right.
私が殺したと、そう思っていらっしゃったのですか？
You thought that I killed them, right? Oh, sorry. You thought that I killed her, didn't you? No, I knew that it wasn't you. You may indeed have been the one who was straddling Hatsumi's body on the hill. But you just fired a blank at the time. I could tell after checking the body. First, the bullet wound was in the chest. However, when you pulled the trigger, you were pointing in Hatsumi's head. The spot of the wound didn't match the location of the firing. I could tell just by looking at it that the wound didn't come from... that she hadn't been murdered just then. Furthermore, when I touched the body, it was already cold, as expected. The blood had begun to coagulate, and faint signs of rigor mortis were setting into around the joints of her chin. It was from these pieces of evidence that I knew she'd been killed earlier. However, that said, it didn't seem as though the crime was committed just a few hours before. From my estimate, it had been approximately an hour since death. My guess was that the time of death was around 6:30 p.m. Incidentally, at around 6:30 was almost the exact same time I heard that gunshot at the gym. That was about 6:20 if I remember right. It was at that point that I realized the gunshot I heard back then was the sound of Hatsumi getting murdered. At the time, you were in the gym disguised as Marina. Sorry, as Hojo. Thus, I knew that ruled you out as Hatsumi's murderer. I knew that. Still, I can't believe she committed suicide.
本来であれば北条さんに殺されることが本望だったようです。
Seems that originally, the idea was for her to be killed by Hojo.
母は2つの殺人事件の真犯人。
My mother was the true culprit behind the two murders.
その母を北条さんが殺せば、ますます彼女は窮地に追い込まれることになるでしょう。
So if Hojo killed my mother, that would drive her even further into a corner.
真犯人というものは事件を解明する上での最も重要な証人でもあります。
A true killer is the most important witness there is to an incident.
事件の真相を誰よりも一番よく知っているのが真犯人です。
It's the true culprit who knows the truth of an incident better than anyone else. So by silencing her, that would have put Hojo at a further disadvantage. Hold on a second. With Hatsumi's own death, the suspicions against Hojo would have been perfect. Is that how it is?
ええ。
Yes.
ですが、北条さんが母を殺さないであろうこともおおよそ見当がついていました。
However, it seems my mother had predicted that Hojo wouldn't kill her.
そこで母は自分が殺されなかった場合を想定して一つの予防策を。
Thus, she came up with a backup plan in the event that she wasn't murdered. And you used me for this?
はい。
Yes. You made it look to me as as though the one that murdered Hatsumi was Hojo. You were planning to make me see that and testify as such to the courts.
その通りです。
Exactly. What are you trying to make me do?
経験です。
Experience. Experience what?
見ること。
Seeing. Seeing?
ええ、そうです。
Yes, that's correct.
運命はあなたの眼差しを求めています。
Fate demands your sight.
人間の自我が他者の眼差しによって確立されるのと同じように。
Much like how a person's ego is established by another's gaze.
現実も観測者の見るという行為によって確定されるのです。
Much like that, reality is also determined by the act of being seen by an observer.
あなたはこれから現実を作ることになります。あなた自身が作るのです。
You are about to create reality. You yourself will create it.
けれどそのためにはあなたと北条さんに同時刻同じ場所で同じものを見ているのだと錯覚させる必要がありました。
In order for that to make that a reality, there was a need to make both you and Hojo believe that you were seeing the same things at the same times at the same places, even though you actually weren't. Yeah, I get that. Which is why you put on that one-man show in the gym, right? Because you need to make me experience some other impactful events apart from Hatsumi's murder. To make both me and Hojo believe that we had shared the same experiences at the exact same times. Effie slowly nods. However, even if you did that, the difference in the dates would have easily come out eventually. What else were you trying to do?
予定では北条さんには14日の朝までにこの島を一時的に退去していただくつもりでした。
The plan was for Hojo to temporarily leave this island until the morning of the 14th.
そうしないとあなたとどこかで出会ってしまうかもしれませんから。
Because if she didn't, there was a chance she could have bumped into you somewhere. A chance, meaning then, but a chance, huh? And in fact, Hojo and I did indeed meet each other earlier. So that's how your plan's off track?
ええ。本来であればミカエルが北条さんを島から連れ出すことになっていたのですが。
Yes, originally Mikhail was supposed to take Hojo off this island.
そのミカエルがいなくなってしまって。
Hold on a second. But now Mikhail's gone. Gone? That choice of words leaves me feeling a little off. Does Effie not know that Mikhail was murdered?
天城さんには再び眠っていただくつもりでした。
I plan to put you to sleep again
本当の日付が14日だと気づく前に。
before you realized that the true date was the 14th.
目覚めた時、それは15日に変わっています。
And then when you woke up, it would already be the 15th.
すると天城さんは体育館や草原の丘で目撃した出来事を13日に起こったものだと錯覚するでしょう。
By doing so, that would have made you believe that the events you saw at the gym and on top of the hill had taken place on the 13th.
予定ではあの神社で撃つことになっていました。注射を。
The plan was for me to inject you back at the shrine.
あなたに抱きしめてもらった 時。
Back when I hugged you.
でも私にはどうしてもそれができなくて。
But I just couldn't bring myself to do it.
天城さん、本当は私。
Magi, the truth is that Please, don't. Don't say anything else. Don't try to sway me. Effie looks at the ground. I hear a faint sigh. Her warm breath is trembling. Put my hand on her head. I part her soft hair and sniff at it. The sweet smell of lavender melts into me. I am a fictional being created by my mother. A fictional illusion, a copy, a mere replacement. So even that smell was the same as hot to me. A cold sensation like snow from an avalanche piles up in my heart. Why did Katsumi choose to die? I ask her that in order to shake off the feelings building up in me. Hesitation comes over Effie's face, but only lasts an instant. She quietly looks up and speaks.
母が究極の理想を追い求めていたことはすでにお伝えしたかと思います。
I already told you how my mother was chasing after her great ideal, her ultimate ideal.
平和で穏やかで満ち足りていたかつての日々を取り戻そうとしました。
My mother was trying to get back her peaceful, gentle, satisfying days where she needed nothing else.
そして実際にそれは達成されました。
And she made it a reality.
この島にはノイがいて、アルトがいて、母の分身である私がいました。
On this island was Noi, Alt, and me, her doppelganger.
喜びにあふれていた生活が、日常が、思い出が、記憶が、この世界に再現されたのです。
She replicated that life, days, memories, and recollections full of joy into this world.
その光景を目にした母は、やがてこんな風に考えるようになっていきました。
And as she watched all that, my mother eventually came to a conclusion. I'm not needed here. There's no need for there to be two of me. My presence here is distorting this ideal world. As long as I'm here, the vision that I dreamed up will never be complete. Never be perfect. In that case,
そう、すべてはビジョンのためでした。
that's right. It was all for her vision.
母は未来のあるべき姿を無双し、それを実現するために計画を立てたのです。
My mother dreamed of her ideal future and then planned to make it a reality.
そこにはありとあらゆる事柄が書かれていました。
On a second. In order to do that, she composed all sorts of things.
ベクターウイルスのこと、多重身体のこと、小湊とカトリンの殺害計画、日銀襲撃計画、サイバーテロ計画。
She composed the vector virus, split bodies, the assassination plots for Kominato and Katori, The Bank of Japan attack plot, cyber terrorism plot.
母の死もそのうちの一つでした。
Even her own death was one of them.
母はビジョンのままに自ら命を絶ったのです。
My mother took her own life as her vision dictated. I can hardly understand Hatsumi's mind. It's the pinnacle of madness. If that's the case, then maybe trying to understand to begin with is a mistake. I just powerlessly shake my head.
私の方からお話しすることはもう何もありません。
I no longer have anything to say. No, hold on, you're still forgetting something important. Something's just not staying the place for me.
母の死についてですか？
About my mother's death, I take it? No, not that. It's about Kominato and Katori. I just can't believe that Hatsumi was really the one who killed the two of them. Like I said earlier, would it really be possible for Hatsumi to disguise herself as Hojo? Hatsumi was an old woman. She couldn't even walk around without a cane. So how did a battered down old woman like that pull it off? And just then came the cliffhanger, because this is where we're going to stop for today. So yeah, might need to make it extra long, but tomorrow likely I'm going to finish this. But until then, we'll just have to leave at this cliffhanger. But for now, I'll see you all later.